Hi, I'm Vicky, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I created this huge headpiece for a client recently. It's probably the biggest headpiece I have ever made, and that it was quite challenging because of the weight that was involved in it. It's made from natural branches, which I got from a tree in my driveway, and artificial flowers. So I'm going to show you now how I made it. Because it's going to be so big and heavy, I need to create a frame to hold it in place on her head so it doesn't rock backwards and forwards. So I've got this double black metal band, and I'm using this brown floristry wire to create a sort of cage for her head almost. So the plan is I'm going to bend these two around to make a circle that sit around the back of her head, and then I'll put a couple more bits of wire going up back up to here, and hopefully that will be enough to keep it nice and secure, and she'll be able to pull her hair out through the gaps, so this part will be hidden once it's on. And then I'm also going to use the wire to sort of create a frame coming up from here, which will give me something to attach all the branches to. I'll wire all that together, I think, and then I'm going to use hot glue to add the flowers. So for my plan for now is to just make it really roughly, so I can try it on her to get a really snug fit on her head, so I know that once we've got all that weight on it, it's not going to move. So this is all I'm going to do ready for her to try on Thursday. So I've created a loop that will sit around the back of her head and one that will go over the top of her head. And I just want to try those on and make sure this size is going to be quite snug on her before I start adding to it and making it more of a sort of cage, and before I add the bits at the top to attach the branches to. So after I've fitted this wire going to the back of her head and this one going around here, I've glued and twisted that into place now, and I've used some felt just to cover the raw ends on the back. And this part, when her hair's pulled through it, and she's got quite thick hair which works really well, so once her hair's pulled out and through it, this will be completely hidden, but it's going to help balance the headpiece and stop it tipping forwards and backwards. She could also put some bobby pins around these wires to help secure it as well. So the next thing I've been doing is I've been building this cage on top of it. So I've used some thick wire and some thin wire just to build this sort of cage going upwards that I can then wire the branches onto. And I've just secured everything in place with a little bit of glue. This is going to be completely covered in branches and flowers, so you're not going to see any of this. I don't mind that it looks a bit rough at the minute. It's more of a case of getting it nice and solid and sturdy to attach the branches to. The last job I'm going to do before I start putting the branches on is I'm just going to put some felt around the inside here just to neaten this up and just make it a little bit more comfortable to wear. So I'm just going to cut a strip of brown felt and glue it on to neaten the inside, and that'll give something for the branches to lean against as well as I put them in. I was worried it was going to be a bit stiff, but it's still got some movement on, so it should still grip onto her head. So after that I attached all the branches, and this is where we're up to. So you can see it is absolutely huge. I've tried to use quite thin branches to keep the weight down. So my client came and tried it on this morning, and it's actually staying on really well. The cage that I've built onto the headpiece, onto the headband, is working really well. And before she got here I just decided to add a strip of elastic around the back as well. It's actually an old bra strap, so it's adjustable, so she can tighten it if she wants, and she can put bobby pins around these. So even without the bobby pins, when she tried it on this morning, it was pretty secure. So once it's bobby pinned too, it should be fine. So now I know that the frame is good and that she's happy with the size and shape and number of branches, I can start adding all of the flowers onto it. So the first thing I've started doing is building just a sort of layer of leaves just to break up that edge so we don't see the felt and the headband when she's got it on. So I've done that round the front, and next I'm going to do exactly the same thing at the back. Oh, to attach the branches, I just held them in place with a bit of wire and then some hot glue. So it looks really messy at the minute, really messy. But once all the flowers are on it, won't notice, and it's going to be nice and solid. So it's got the wire and the glue. Yeah, so I'm just going to go and keep gluing leaves and flowers onto this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. So this is the big headpiece with all the flowers on. I'm so happy with how it looks. We've done it, even though the branches are quite symmetrical, I've done the flowers a little bit asymmetrical, so they're sort of flowing from here and down and across. So that's the front. If I very carefully turn it round, oh, capturing everything. That's the back. So once my client has pulled her hair through the cage, you won't see that at all, but that's going to be what helps keep it really secure on her head. So here are the images from the photo shoot that she used it for. So it was a collaboration with Sacred Union Yoga and Dance here in Australia, and my client was painted with cherry blossoms, which is why we included cherry blossoms in the headpiece, and they created these incredible images. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I created this humongous headpiece. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.